HUAWEI Band 10 has come out, and its upgrade is pretty much non-existent from the previous model. So if a week ago I was moaning about the Mi Band 10 and that it's not much of an upgrade from the 9th version, well, this one, oh gosh, I think we need to talk about the details, because the HUAWEI Band 10 usually is such a great fitness track. It comes out with a woomph. When the first one came out, this button, it actually transformed the traditional fitness tracker into a smartwatch-like, or a hybrid between a smartwatch and a fitness tracker. It was revolutionary. When we got the original 1.47-inch AMOLED display on a tracker for $35-40, we thought, wowzers, that's crazy. But 5 years later, when the same thing comes out, slightly frustrating, I would say, considering we are in an AI boom. We're in 2025. Soon we're gonna have like flying cars. And then we get this band. And this band. Anyways, let's get into the details. There's a lot to talk about. Now, the affiliate link to the listing is in the description below the video, so do check it out if you're after a sharp price. And now let's talk about the HUAWEI Band 10 in detail. Let's do it. Right, so let's kick off with design and build. Did anything actually change from the Band 9 to the Band 10? And it's a yes and no. For the black and the pink models, the Band 10 still uses a polymer case, same as all the models on Band 9. While if you go for colors like matte black, white, green, blue and purple, that does actually have aluminium alloy cases. But the prices of these ones are no longer $40. Now you're looking at about $50 to $55. So essentially there's no change. It's just they've added a couple more aluminium alloy case options to their range. If we talk about the dimensions, they didn't change. They stayed at 43.5 millimeters by 25 millimeters by 8.99, or simply 9 millimeters thickness. So nothing changed. And the 14 grams weight also remained. We still get the soft, flexible rubber straps here, lots of breathability to them, quick release, nice, no issue with that. But in terms of improvements, I don't see any. Do you? Let me know in the comments. Let's talk about the display. So when the Band 6 came along 5 years ago, we got the 1.47-inch AMOLED display. That was huge. It had the 194 by 368 pixels, giving us a PPI of 282. That was massive. But 5 years later, when we get the exact same display with the same resolution, that's a bit sad, to be fair. HUAWEI does claim that user interface and responsiveness has improved from the Band 9. Personally, maybe not. It's not obvious. Maybe the UI does feel a bit snappier, but not by much. Nothing that's clearly noticeable. So yeah, nothing changed in regards to the resolution. We still get the ambient light sensor, so we get auto brightness. That's great. Or you can change the brightness manually. We still get always on displays. We get plenty of faces that we can download from the app. Everything stays the same. Nothing changes here. Even the brightness was not popped up. Let's talk about smart features, because that's important, right? Well, do we think anything changed? Well, not really. We still don't have a microphone, we still don't have a speaker. So technically we have the same band that we had 5 years ago. Improved sensors, yes, and we'll talk about it in a second. But for the smart features, nothing really changed. We still don't have NFC. We get QR-based payments. But that's HUAWEI's option to smartwatch payment integration. It's not really NFC. With regards to connectivity features like notifications, media controls, camera remote, weather widget and Find My Phone, well, all of these features were present on the Band 8, 9 and now the 10. No improvements in that regard. If we talk about battery life and charging, well, the Band 9 claimed 14 days of battery life, maximum 9 days typical. In my tests, I managed to get 7 to 8 days of typical usage without using always on display. What I did like on the Band 9 is that we got the fast charge. So about 5 to 10 minutes gives you 2 to 3 days of power. The Band 10 maintains that excellent battery life. So it basically does what the Band 9 did with no improvements. Okay. But now we get to the most important thing of a fitness tracker, and that is actually fitness tracking metrics, right? So firstly, let's talk about the sensors. Let's talk about heart rate, SpO₂, stress, and sleep. All of these things are monitored by the HUAWEI Band 6, 7, 8, 9, and now 10. But has 10 shown any improvements over the Band 9? And not really. The fact is we're still using the same sensors, but now we've included tracking of HRV. What is HRV? Well, it stands for heart rate variability. It's the variation in time between each heartbeat, measured in milliseconds. While your heart rate might be 60 beats per minute, the exact intervals between beats are not perfectly even. HRV measures those microfluctuations. So for example, high HRV suggests good recovery, low stress, and higher adaptability, while low HRV suggests fatigue, stress, poor recovery, illness, or overtraining. So the Band 9 could indirectly use heart rate data for stress and sleep, but did not offer continuous HRV readings or HRV specific insights. Band 10, on the other hand, adds direct HRV measurement and integrates HRV into sleep, stress, and mood tracking. And it claims to use AI modules to interpret the data for emotional state tracking, personalized breathing prompts, sleep apnea detection, and more accurate stress scores. But let's be fair. I love these reality checks. We need to do them. The proof is in the pudding, as they say. But HUAWEI hasn't published clinical validation or peer-reviewed studies showing that Band 10's HRV data is materially more accurate than competitors, or that its AI interpretations significantly improve wellness insights. The AI claims, well, they look good on paper, but essentially they usually mean pattern recognition and data smoothing, which is useful for filtering noise, but it can't fix bad raw data from a consumer-grade optical sensor. So if we talk about the bottom line, what's been improved on the Band 10 versus the Band 9? Well, we get a genuine new metric, and that is the HRV. Great. But everything else has stayed exactly the same. So what do you reckon? Are my qualms with this HUAWEI Band 10, the latest version, fair? Or do you think I'm just moaning without reason? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.